Hello friends, Pombe Lou here, just making a quick short video. Today is January 6th, year 2021, and lots of things happening in America today. Lots of things, lots of people praying, a lot of income of today's election, business. We want to hear President Trump gain a victory. And I spent some time in prayer this morning, and I'm still praying that we do see a victory soon out of things happening today. We're hoping that Vice President Mike Pence will do exactly what he's allowed to do under the constitutional law, to disregard votes that were certified illegally in 6 swing states. And he could do this because the governors of those states circumvented their own state law, which specifically says that only the legislators can change anything about the voting laws of that state. The governors, along with some federal judge, decided to say, no, we don't care about the legislators, we don't care about the people of this state, we don't care about our laws in this state, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to do what we want to do. So because of that, because those states were robbed of their ability to cast a proper vote, that gives Vice President Pence authority under the Constitution to disregard those unlawfully, illegally certified votes from those 6 swing states, which would leave a quorum of the other states, right? 6 from 50, that's like, what, 44, right? So 44 states could still cast their votes because they abided by their state laws, they abided by their legislators, and the citizens of those states were allowed to cast their votes legally. So because of that, he can work from that quorum, which is more than half, right? And he can take votes from those 44 states, he can accept those votes, and because basically that leaves the rest of the country Republican, then the votes would then be cast for President Trump. Now, what I was speaking about with God was that we so much want a victory. We need a victory in this country. People of faith are having a struggle. We've been through 4 years of struggle at every turn from when this poor man took office. He has been attacked, maligned, viciously misrepresented, not only by legislators in the Congress, but also by the media. They only tell us what they want us to hear, and that's something that some people just don't want to accept. Once you get past the weather, and the only reason they don't lie about that is because you can walk out your front door and look at it for yourself. So they just pick and choose, they cherry pick. I watched the morning news this morning, and there was some obviously liberal, because he was angry, spitting mad that Pence does not have the legal authority to disregard any electoral votes. Nobody ever brought up that those 6 swing states, how the governors circumvented their own state law. Nobody brought that up. That was omitted from the whole news report. And when the drive-by public only hears that little 5-minute snippet, well, what's the logical conclusion? Oh, well, yeah, Trump can't expect Pence to do that. He can't break the law, because we're not told the whole story. They could have added 2 minutes and just included the rest of the story, but they didn't. Why are they doing that? Follow the money. Follow the money. So in speaking with God today, I said, dear Father, how much farther down the dark hole does this country and this world need to go? How much farther into desperation, into disillusionment do we need to travel? And he reminded me of something, and I believe it to be true that he reminded me of it because it's biblical. He reminded me that it's all about our immortal souls. It's about our immortal souls. Yes, Americans have been praying. The whole world is praying. And I pray for victory. And I believe that God would want us to have victory. He is victory. So he wants us to have victory. But what I'm saying to you is this. Even if things don't turn out today the way we hoped and the way we prayed for, that is not a reason to give up on God. Do not give up on President Trump, and do not give up on our country. There is something much greater at stake here. It is our immortal souls. That in God's economy, there is a phrase you can look up. In God's economy, his Son, Jesus, was sent to us to love us, to teach us, to guide us, to show God's way of doing things and living life. In the end, he paid the ultimate price so that we would have an opportunity to spend eternity with him, his Son, the Holy Spirit. He already gave all that he could. It's up to us. We have to stay focused. Do not be discouraged. I was just reading today from the book of Mark about Jesus feeding the 5,000. I noticed a couple of words. The first sentence, it said, when the 5,000 ate and they were satisfied. I hung on that word. When they were satisfied. That stuck out for me. And then it went on to explain that when all were fed, that Jesus dismissed the disciples and told them to start heading out across the lake, across the sea, it says. And that he stayed to dismiss the crowd. You know, I find that interesting. So the disciples weren't there to hear what Jesus said to the crowd of the 5,000. We don't know, but I believe it was glorious. I believe it was good. Who knows? He may have performed other miracles, cast out other demons. He may have spoken truths to them that we, as his disciples, have yet to find out, yet to learn. That's the whole thing about the faith. It's continuing to learn about God. He is revealing us. He is revealing himself to us each and every day. Then when, gotta move location because here comes a big nasty plane. Okay, so when the disciples were walking out, when the disciples were sailing across the sea and the winds came up, Jesus came walking on the water beside them and was going to pass them by. Can you imagine? He's just going to walk by them like, yeah, I know, you guys will get there when you get there, right? And he saw that they were getting tossed to and fro in the boat. Isn't that us right now? Isn't that America? Isn't that the world right now? I got to do some other things because I want to finish this. Okay, so this is a messy video, but let me get to the end. So Jesus was walking by the disciples. They were getting tossed to and fro in the boat. He saw they were struggling. And he stopped. and they were all petrified. They thought they were seeing a ghost. Who comes walking on the water while they're getting battered in a boat and the storms come up? And here comes Jesus. And he's walking like it's just another Sunday afternoon, man. And he comes up on them. And they're frightened. They're terrified. And he says, "Do not be afraid, it is I." That caught me. In the end of all of this mess with our election, with the struggle against good and evil, we will hear, we will see God, and we will know in our heart it is Him, and to do not be afraid. Whatever happens from this point forward, I have already given myself once again into His hands this morning, because I have to do it a lot. And I think a lot of us need to do it a lot. We have to recommit. We have to reopen our hearts to God, and we need to resubmit ourselves to His love and His care. I'm not giving up, and I'm not giving in, but I'm putting myself in His divine hands. And I hope and pray that for all of you. I could say a lot of other things in these videos, but to me, this is the best message. If I'm going to leave you with anything, if I'm going to leave this earth with anything left for other people to hear and see, it's not about me. I'm just a billboard pointing directions, and the directions take you to the throne. If I'm not doing that, all else is dust. God bless you.